Welcome to this JAMDA author video presentation. I'm Kieren Egan, a dementia and digital health researcher, and I've been working at the University of Surrey in the UK. I present this work with Anne-Margriet, a senior health advisor for long-term care and dementia at the World Health Organization in Geneva. Together, we will be discussing our article in the March 2018 issue of JAMDA, the Journal of Post-Acute and Long-Term Care Medicine. The article is entitled Online Training and Support Programs Designed to Improve Mental Health and Reduce Burden Among Caregivers of People with Dementia, a Systematic Review.
The world dementia population is expected to increase from the current 47 million to 131 million by 2050. Worldwide, family and other unpaid caregiving is common, particularly in lower and middle-income countries, where organized support is often minimal. Over time, caregiving can have significant mental and physical impact. For example, high prevalence rates of anxiety and depression have been found among caregivers. Scalable, effective interventions that support caregivers are needed urgently, particularly those suitable for lower and middle-income countries. With the improvement of global telecommunication networks, online training and support programs provide real potential for the development of scalable solutions to support caregivers. We set out to perform a systematic review of online training and support programs for caregivers of people with dementia, tested in randomized controlled trials.
6 online databases were searched: PubMed, Cochrane Library, CINAHL Database, ISI Web of Science, PsycInfo, and Embase. 1,247 unique studies were identified, of which we looked at 38 studies in the full text in further detail.
The 8 randomized controlled trials are described in detail within Table 1 of our paper. These studies were methodologically diverse, which limits the ability to undertake robust evidence synthesizers techniques such as meta-analysis. The programs that were studied differed in duration and intensity of the course, whether a moderator was present, founding theory, the modality of delivery, for instance written text, video, questionnaires, etc., and a geographical setting.
This graph shows a number of the different primary outcomes of interest plotted against the number of publications. Positive studies are shown in light blue, whereas neutral and negative findings are shown in maroon. What this graph demonstrates is that where we looked at further details at the outcomes of the studies, we identified that for primary outcomes, 2 of 6 studies that measured depression found positive outcomes, 2 of 2 studies that measured anxiety found positive outcomes, 0 of 3 studies that measured burden found positive outcomes, and 2 of 3 studies that measured stress found positive outcomes. Similar to the previous slide, the secondary outcome measures here are depicted with positive studies shown in light blue, whereas neutral and negative findings are shown in maroon. Our review identified that while there was some favourable evidence for improvements in knowledge skills and self-efficacy, there were no suggested improvements across coping outcomes, quality of life, and reaction to challenging behaviours, whereas no studies examined the quality of care outcomes. In conclusion, RCT studies provide some evidence for improvement on mental health outcomes such as depression and anxiety. However, the methodological diversity prevented pooling of results, and online training and support programs were not sufficiently described. The risk of bias within these studies is explained in our main paper, where the studies were of mixed quality with attrition and blinding biases of particular concern.
Randomized controlled trials represented 8 of the 31 relevant studies and were extremely diverse in design. There are important discussions that need to be conducted at a higher level regarding how digital health research can be undertaken in a manner that optimally informs future research and clinical practice. Therefore, a concerted and cohesive approach from all involved stakeholders is necessary if we are to realize the full potential of this exciting and emerging field. Thank you for listening. For further details, please refer to the article in the March 2018 issue of JAMDA, the Journal of Post-Acute and Long-Term Care Medicine, which is available at jamda.com.